On June 16th, Microsoft published a sentence that would have been unthinkable 2 years ago, announcing its new AI worker, Copilot Cowork. Microsoft wrote, and this is a direct quote, "At general availability, Copilot Cowork runs on Anthropic models." Microsoft's worker, its rival's brain. The company that bet $13 billion on OpenAI shipped its flagship AI worker on Anthropic's Claude. And Microsoft wasn't confused. It understood something most of us haven't caught up to yet. The model stopped being the product. In the space of a few months, 4 AI workers arrived: ChatGPT Work, Claude Cowork, Copilot Cowork, Gemini Spark. 4 boxes, sharing a handful of interchangeable brains. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one should be doing your work. Because the answer has almost nothing to do with whose model is smarter. Here's the idea. A chatbot answers you. An AI worker acts for you. That's the whole difference, and it changes everything about how you should judge these products. When you ask a chatbot to summarize a contract, it reads what you pasted and writes back. One question, one answer, and then it forgets you exist. An AI worker is different. You give it a goal. Reconcile these 3 spreadsheets and draft the summary email. And it breaks the goal into steps, opens the files, runs the numbers, checks its own work, and keeps going for minutes or hours until the job is done. It loops. Plan, act, look at the result, adjust. That loop is what the industry calls an agent. Now, if you've watched this channel before, you already know our founding argument. The same AI model can be genius in one app and useless in another, because what surrounds the model matters more than the model. We call that surrounding machinery the harness, the tools it's given, the information it can see, the permissions it's granted. This summer, the harness argument stopped being a theory and became the entire product war. Because look at what's actually inside these 4 boxes. Copilot Cowork at launch ran on Anthropic's Claude. Microsoft said so itself. Microsoft 365 Copilot now lets you pick between OpenAI's models and Anthropic's in the same product. ChatGPT Work runs OpenAI's new GPT 5.6 family. Claude Cowork runs Claude. Gemini Spark runs Gemini. The brains are top tier across the board, and increasingly, they're literally the same brains. So when the brains are shared, what are you actually choosing?
You're choosing 2 things: what the worker is allowed to see, and what it's allowed to touch. Every one of these 4 products draws that boundary in a completely different place. And that boundary, not the model, decides whether the job actually gets finished. Let's walk the 4 boundaries. Watch how different they really are. Start with Claude Cowork from Anthropic. It arrived first back in April. The full product lives in the desktop app on every paid plan. Its boundary is the folder. You point it at specific folders, this project directory, this documents folder, and connect the services you choose. Inside that boundary, it reads, writes, organizes, and builds. Outside it, your files are off limits. When it connects to a service, it inherits your permissions. It can never see more than you can. And before it acts, you pick the mode. Approve each step manually, let it run automatically, or skip the checks entirely. In that last mode, nothing reviews its actions at all. It can also run sessions in the cloud, still in beta, so a long job keeps going after you close your laptop. Just know that work touching your local files still needs the desktop app open. Anthropic published a number that surprised people. In its May usage sample, more than 90% of Claude Cowork sessions weren't software development. Coding was just 8.7%. Regular business work, documents, research, organizing, that's who this is for. Now, ChatGPT Work from OpenAI launched July 9th, powered by the GPT 5.6 family. Its boundary is the opposite philosophy. Instead of working inside your folders, it gets its own computer. OpenAI's product lead describes it as a virtual machine in the cloud that's always on for you. Your files go up to its workspace. It browses, builds, and runs software there. For reach, it plugs into a directory OpenAI's launch materials count at more than 1,400 plugins. Connections into the tools you already use, your email, your calendar, your project tracker. Most of those connections feed it context. They read. The set that can write back, actually send, actually change things,
is much smaller, and by default it asks you before important actions. In enterprise workspaces, those apps are switched off entirely until an admin enables them. On web and mobile, it's included in every paid plan except the cheapest ones. On desktop, every plan, even free, with limits. Either way, the philosophy holds. Your work goes to its computer, not the other way around. Third, Copilot Cowork from Microsoft. Its boundary is the one you already live inside, the Microsoft 365 tenant, your company's whole world of mail, meetings, SharePoint, and Teams. It sees everything you're already authorized to see at work, and nothing you aren't. It doesn't need a plugin directory because your company's knowledge is already its context. And it answers to your IT department. Admins control it centrally. Its actions land in the audit log, and Microsoft's compliance tooling, Purview, watches what it touches. It comes included with a Microsoft 365 Copilot license, no separate product to buy, and the tasks themselves are metered. The more it does, the more you pay. This is the worker that arrives pre-hired, badge already printed. And fourth, Gemini Spark from Google. Revealed at Google I/O in May. Since late July, it's included with Google's $20 AI Pro plan across most of the world, though not yet in the EU, the UK, Switzerland, or Nigeria, and only on personal Google accounts, not work ones. Spark's boundary is your Google life. Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Docs. It runs around the clock in the background, currently up to 15 tasks at once, checking, drafting, monitoring, on a schedule you set. And it has the boldest permission of the four. With your explicit approval, it can use Chrome's saved passwords to sign into websites as you and get things done there, in the US first. That's a real capability, and it's also the clearest example yet of what these products really compete on, how much of your digital life you hand them. Step back and look at what we just walked. 4 products, comparable brains, and 4 completely different answers to the only 2 questions that matter. What can it see, and what can it touch? A folder, its own computer, your company tenant, your Google account. That's why benchmark charts won't help you choose. The question with an answer is, where does your work already live? So here's the verdict, and it's a real one, not a shrug. If your business runs on Microsoft 365, and most larger businesses do, Copilot Cowork is the default winner. Not because its brain is better. We've established it may literally be the same brain. It wins because your work already lives inside its boundary. Your IT team can govern it, and nobody has to upload anything anywhere. And enjoy the twist. When you use Microsoft's Worker, you'll often be talking to Claude. If your work lives in files and folders, you're a consultant, an analyst, a builder of documents. Claude Cowork. The folder boundary and the approve each step control fit that work like a glove. And its own usage data shows it's mostly doing non-coding business work. If your work is scattered across 100 different web apps and none of them is the center, ChatGPT Work, the worker with its own computer and that 1400 plugin directory, wins precisely because you have no home base. And if your life genuinely runs on Gmail and Google Docs, Spark is the one that's already home. Just check it's available in your country and decide deliberately how much of your account you hand it. One decision, based on where your work lives, not on a leaderboard. Before you go, 3 things worth stealing from all of this. First, the Microsoft sentence is the tell. When the biggest software company on earth ships its flagship worker on its rival's model, models have become commodities, and the harness became the product. Spend your evaluation time on boundaries and permissions, not benchmark scores. Second, every one of these 4 asks before the actions that matter, the sends, the changes, the deletions, by default. And in company settings, that permission is a switch someone controls. Before you roll any AI worker out to a team, find out exactly who owns that switch. That one org chart question prevents most of the surprises. Third, you can now run the whole comparison in 60 seconds. Ask, where does my work already live? Microsoft tenant, folders, scattered apps, or Google account? The answer names your worker. Done. If this reframed how you think about these launches, the episode that started this whole argument is the one to watch next. Why the same AI model is genius in one app and useless in another. It predicted this moment, and it's right up next to this video. The model war is over. The same handful of interchangeable brains now sits across the boxes. What decides whether your job actually gets finished is the harness, what it's allowed to see and what it's allowed to touch. So stop asking which model is smartest. Ask which product already owns your work context, and hire that one.